There's a new Cold War upon us, and this one might be colder than the last. China and the US are battling it out for world dominance, and China is holding nothing back. From hypersonic missiles that fly 5 times faster than the speed of sound, to the largest nuclear weapon buildup in decades, to attacking American satellites in space with laser weapons, China is pulling no punches, and the world has a new reason to be afraid. In this video, we take a look at all these world-shattering capabilities, starting with an unrivaled hypersonic missile power. The #1 US threat is the Chinese hypersonic missile development. After more than a decade of work and investments worth $10 billion, China's hypersonic missiles, all impressively maneuverable, have grown into the most unstoppable missiles on the planet. Here are the missiles. 1. DF-17. The conventional and nuclear-capable DF-17 is currently the face of Chinese hypersonic missile capability. The 36-foot-long, 33,000-pound hypersonic missile reaches speeds exceeding Mach 5, has a maximum altitude of 60 miles, meaning it almost reaches space, and has an impressive fuel efficiency as high as 79%, which makes it capable of an operating range as far as 1,600 miles. The DF-17 has been tested 7 times and has an outstanding success rate of 100%. Number 2. YJ-21. The YJ-21 is reportedly on its way to becoming the world's first ship-based hypersonic anti-ship missile. Footage from 2022 where the YJ-21 could be seen cold-launched from the vertical launch system of a $900 million Type 055 Renhai-class guided missile cruiser proves that the missile has already entered its testing phase. The missile is believed to have a maximum range of 930 miles and a top speed between Mach 6 and Mach 10. Number 3. Shinkong-2. The Shinkong-2 is a Wave Rider hypersonic missile that becomes more decisive on the battlefield by riding its own shockwaves for greater lift, greater range, less drag, and an overall improved performance. The missile boasts a maximum range of 6,200 miles, a flight ceiling of 98,000 feet, and a top speed exceeding Mach 6. Number 4. DF-27. The latest addition to China's hypersonic missile arsenal, the nuclear-capable DF-27, is a missile with a maximum range between 3,000 to 5,000 miles, meaning that it can strike any target in East or Southeast Asia and large parts of the Pacific where the US could be positioned in defending Taiwan against China. According to a leaked top-secret report by the Joint Chiefs of Staff Intelligence Directorate, the missile had a successful test in February 2023. Success after success has been the pattern of China's attempts at hypersonic missile power, and it's not a different case with China's laser power either. China has been pursuing laser weapons development for over 6 decades, with particular attention going into anti-satellite capabilities. According to the Financial Times, China has been building the capability to seize control of a satellite, rendering it ineffective to support communications, weapons, or intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance systems. According to the US government, China is practicing to take away its huge advance in satellite technology by damaging or hijacking military satellites to deny them in wartime. This is understandable, as neutralizing or hijacking enemy satellites would have massive strategic consequences in wartime. China is already in possession of ground-based laser systems with wildly varying degrees of power, some able to strike targets in space. These weapons reside in anti-satellite laser facilities spread across China. 3 of these facilities have been discovered, and the one in the Korla East test site in the Xinjiang province was caught red-handed in some seemingly shady act. 2 anti-satellite laser weapons in the facility were found to be unusually active when foreign satellites were overhead, a sign that China could be using laser weapons to electronically probe them. With 1 in 3 satellites in space belonging to the US, this is quite significant. In addition to the ground-based laser weapons, China has developed another directed energy weapon, one that could jam or destroy satellites in space using a 5-megawatt wave burst. Known as the Relativistic Klystron Amplifier, or RKA for short, this new weapon can be mounted on satellites to get it close enough to its targets to burn out their sensitive electronics. Going by the sheer number of hurdles that must have been overcome, the RKA is crucial proof of how far China has come in terms of directed energy weapons. The weapon must require a high power output to be even remotely useful against the massive satellites in space. The weapon must also feature advanced beam control and adaptive optics technologies to counter disturbances and maintain optimal beam quality over long distances. Then it must incorporate sophisticated tracking and targeting capabilities to ensure accurate and precise engagement of intended targets. Perhaps the most important feature of this weapon, however, might be that once scaled up, it could fire beams intense enough to rip through satellites traveling at whatever speeds. With all of these Chinese advancements, it's possible that America's satellites, which make seamless battle-deciding inter-service military coordination possible, might be in danger. The U.S. knows this, and therefore, the U.S. responds. The threat of China has not gone unanswered by the U.S., and proof of this is in no short supply. From warning statements to a record-breaking fiscal year 2024 defense budget that references China multiple times. A record $170 billion is to be spent on the procurement of technologies alone. That's more than the entire annual defense budget of every other nation on the planet except China. Of all the weapons to procure that could counter China, the U.S. prioritized laser weapons and has now become unrivaled in the space, despite China's best efforts. Spread across the major military services, here are the most notable laser weapons that give the U.S. that invincibility. Army, ground-based. The Army is pushing for two different laser weapons. Here they are. The IFPC HEL, full name Indirect Fire Precision Capabilities High Energy Laser, is a ground vehicle system armed with a 300 kilowatt laser tasked with defeating both light and heavy threats, from drones to cruise missiles to rockets. The complete system is packed full of all it takes for a laser weapon to be as lethal as advertised, including beam control, beam director, and power and thermal management subsystems. The 60 kilowatt DEM SHORAD, full name Directed Energy Maneuver Short Range Air Defense Laser Weapon, is a weapon armed with a 60 kilowatt laser for taking out unmanned aerial vehicles and other similar sized targets. It can take out these targets from up to 5 miles away through whatever means necessary: blinding sensors, scorching parts to cause aerodynamic failure, disabling engines, detonating fuel supply, or an expensive payload. Anything. Another interesting capability of the DEM SHORAD is its level of intelligence. The weapon is, in cases of multiple targets, able to autonomously determine which of the targets should be destroyed first, depending on how much of a threat each target poses. Air Force, aircraft-based. The Self-Protect High Energy Laser Demonstrator Program, or SHIELD for short, is delivering a laser weapon that can be fitted on fighter jets. The Air Force awarded the contract for SHIELD in 2017 to three of the world's largest defense contractors: Northrop Grumman, Boeing, and Lockheed Martin, all working together. Northrop Grumman would deliver the weapon's beam control system, Boeing would deliver the pod subsystem that holds other components, and Lockheed Martin would deliver Lance, the actual laser. Lockheed Martin received $26.3 million in funding from the Air Force for Lance and delivered the laser in February last year, 2022. 5 years after the company received the SHIELD contract. By multiple accounts, the Lance laser was worth every waiting year. According to the acting director of AFRL's Directed Energy Directorate, Kent Wood, Lance and its sister subsystems represent the most compact and capable laser weapon technologies ever delivered to the service. According to Tyler Griffin, a Lockheed executive, Lance is the smallest, lightest, high-energy laser of its power class that Lockheed Martin has built to date. An interesting weapon, no doubt. The world awaits its unveiling and official specifications. Navy, ship-based. The U.S. Navy is installing laser weapons on 9 destroyers to evaluate the usefulness of lasers in sea-based warfare. The headliner of these weapons is the High-Energy Laser and Integrated Optical Dazzler with Surveillance, or Helios. Helios is a 60 to 120 kilowatt high-energy laser weapon developed by industry leader Lockheed Martin, whose 40-year experience in directed energy hadn't gone unnoticed by the Navy either. Helios's development contract, amounting to $150 million, was issued in 2018, and by 2022 the weapon was ready for installation, testing, and trials. Helios would counter targets from over 5 miles away and scorch them to disable core components and put them out of service. But Helios is about more than just grilling targets till they crash. The weapon doubles as a dazzler that obscures adversarial spying and attacks by blinding sensors and confusing missiles. It then triples as a tool to support long-range intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance by having its sensors become part of the Navy's most advanced surface combat system, Aegis. From laser weapons to hypersonic weapons, neutralizing threats from unmanned aerial vehicles to satellites, the battle between the US and China is one that has crossed every domain, every service, and every mind today. And the only way to truly keep it under control is by subscribing to this channel and giving this video a like. So do that now for world peace. And thanks for watching.